Alright. If you're seeing this video, then it probably means that you're interested in the truck and that you've seen the Craigslist ad. 1962 Chevrolet C10 with the optional 283 V8 that I've added a Edelbrock 4-barrel carb, 1500 CFM, and a 4-barrel intake manifold, along with newer valve covers, just to keep everything kind of, I guess, looking a little nicer. I do have the original intake manifold and carburetor, as well as the valve covers, which do have Chevrolet stamped to them along the top. The reason I had to add actually new valve covers is because the old oil filler was in the manifold, and I didn't have an oil filler, other than the dipstick, I guess, but that was really slow. So what I wanted to do with this video is a quick startup, running through pretty much how I take care of the truck. Get in hydraulic clutch, handbrake does work. Rolled a little bit there. There's a cold start. It hasn't been started in about 4 hours. So I'm going to turn the key on, which it is, just to show the lights work. Everything on the dash works except for the fuel tank, but it's a very simple sending unit, so that won't be a big deal. I do also have oil pressure, temperature, and voltmeter lights, which are lit. So from a cold start, pump the gas 4 times. Make sure you're not in gear, although with the clutch in it doesn't matter. And then just turn the key. Now when I got the truck, it did not have an exhaust system, which I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I did add one right there. And it's a very quiet engine, even without, it was just a crimped tailpipe, but it was running very quietly and very smoothly. The Chevrolet 283 small block V8 is a very high revving engine. I'm told that this is a fine example, even though it might not look so great or sound exceptional. But I love this truck. I'm very sad to see her go, but I'm a college student and bills just keep piling up. So we'll get in, crank the window down. It does, of course, go down. These trucks were tanks. This is how you open the door. Pop that back. So we're gonna, first is a crawler gear, so I like to put it in second. Handbrake off. And then we just take off. Well, that won't film my house, but there you go. We do have a big ugly crack in the windshield, but it's not progressing any farther. This is how it was when I got the truck. And yeah, let's see. Get out of this, off this rough dirt road. I'll show you. The blower motor does work, but it needs a new heater core because it has a slight leak. As you can see, and probably from some of the pictures, the 2 of the knobs were broken off when I got the truck, which was very sad because I do like the way this truck has the vent, you know, the way you set up the air or the vents, whatever. So I just want to take it on the road, show you that all the gears work. There's second, and we'll take it in third. That cool temperature light does go off when the truck hits about 120 degrees Fahrenheit, or the engine, I guess. And the hot comes on once you pass, I think, 200, as that's from this gauge here. So the oil pressure light does go red, the generator light does go red. This truck is converted to a 12-volt system, so you won't have to worry about adding something new and it not working. The choke is electric, automatic. It came with the Edelbrock carb and it works very, very well. I don't have a horn thing, but the horns do work. There was a little thing before I switched it over to the 12-volt system where anytime the negative terminal of the battery would become disconnected, the horns would start flaring. Actually happened a few times. There you can see that the cold temperature light is turned off. I didn't really plan on how to end this video. You do have to run it on, if you're gonna let it sit for a while, don't make the mistake that so many of my friends have with their older vehicles of putting E10 or the normal gas from a pump in. I'm in Thermopolis, and there's one place here that does do ethanol-free premium fuel. You have to put that in. The truck just runs better. You'll get less wear on the engine because engines this old and even from the mid-90s weren't designed to run any ethanol, and it just tears them up. It's not great. And I do an octane booster, and I do clean the carb regularly. What else? Newer tires. When I got the truck, it had 4 different size tires. I did not drive it at all, so we could get 4 equally sized tires. That was a pretty chunk. This is the earlier model with the curved windshield. That takes a little bit to get used to because at the corners it does have a little bit of a magnifying effect. I don't know if it's coming through very well on the camera. What else? The cigarette lighter works. It's a 52-plus-year-old piece of technology that works. Windshield wipers do work. Headlights, when the high beams are on, that chevron, or it's not a chevron, but the logo lights up, and I thought that was just the bee's knees. Turn signals, you get 1 light for both turn signals. They do work. I'll probably have to do a walk around right now and prove that. In fact, let me stop. They do work, but the auto cancel does not. So put it back on. Turn signal is on. On the rear. This is a road legal truck. The only thing that it does not have, that's just dirty, is reversing lamps, which I've never needed, mostly because of the blue tailgate. People kind of notice it. Another little bit of damage I'll need to photograph there. Wooden bed. The rear suspension, the gas shocks were completely blown on this truck when I got it, and the brakes were not great. So I redid the drum brakes on all 4 corners, painted them black, not the inside, of course. I have too many friends that have seen people with painted disc brakes, and it's always terrifying. But that's about it. Thank you very much for taking the time to look.